I caution women all the time, look, the world is a wondrous place full of adventures. You gotta be sober. If you figured out how you can do it under the influence, more power to you. I don't think it's possible. And I roll pretty much sober so that I can roll into the half-naked drumming dance party in Scotland or, the all-night disco in Berlin. And I can feel comfortable because I'm aware of what's going on. And the open drink thing is a big thing. I mean, and I actually think that is true in the United States as well. If you're on a date with a man and you did not see the drink poured or open with your own eyes, I don't care if it's a bottle of water, don't drink it. Don't drink it.
Welcome to the Optimum Human Podcast, the show that interviews the world's top experts in fitness, nutrition, mindset, and beyond. Let's get into the show.
Hey guys, this episode of the Optimum Human Podcast is brought to you by the Savvy Girl's Guide to Organic Beauty. Truth is, lots of women think they're well informed about personal care products, but they haven't invested the time to truly learn about the toxic ingredients in the products they use every day. The Savvy Girl's Guide to Organic Beauty is a value-packed online course that teaches you how to detox your beauty and personal care routine and look younger without toxic chemicals. This program is brought to you by our guest from the Optimum Human Podcast episode number 38, Kelly Bonanno. If you want a sneak peek into what will be taught in the course, check out episode 38, or you can check out Kelly's free 5-day challenge, 5 days to a clean, green beauty routine. Wow, that's a mouthful. This course offers an easy way to get the toxic junk out of your home and away from you and your kids. You'll learn anti-aging tips that will help you to look and feel younger, how to keep your family safe from harmful toxins, easy actionable tips that will improve your health, how safe the products you and your kids currently use are, wellness secrets that mainstream doctors don't share, how to reduce your body's toxic burden, and which products and brands are truly safe and effective. So you can check the show notes at www.theoptimumhuman.com for all the links to find Kelly's free 5-day challenge or to register for the Savvy Girl's Guide to Organic Beauty. We use many of the products Kelly recommends in her program, so we can genuinely recommend her knowledge and the products she recommends, so you know they are good.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Welcome to another episode of the Not So Optimum Human Podcast.
Not optimum speaker, that's for sure.
No, I better head to Toastmasters. But so anyways, my name's Brian McKay. He's Claude Petroulis, and we are your hosts of the Optimum Human Podcast. Today we've got another amazing guest. Really excited to speak to her, Miss Jaqueline Blake.
Thanks, you guys. Actually, you can call me Jackie Blake. We'll just keep it casual.
Okay, perfect.
You messing with me, Jaqueline?
I am, and I could take you.
Oh, shit. All right,
so
pay-per-view, people.
According to Claude, this is a Key and Peele reference, so we're just running with it, and we'll run it into the ground like most things that we do.
Yeah, just like our intro. And I think we probably would have, 30 episodes ago, probably just redone that intro. But now we're just at the point where it has entertainment value.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, Jackie, for those of our listeners who don't know who you are, first off, they should. And second off, what is it exactly that you do and how did you get here?
Okay, I got here because, Brian, I met you at John McMullen's intensive workshop. And who am I? Well, I think I'm Jackie, or Jaqueline. I guess for the most of my career, I've been a CHEK practitioner and a holistic lifestyle coach in New York City. And sometime in my early 30s, I decided I wanted to write a book, and I tried to write it about all the stuff that we're trained in, nutrition and coaching and exercise and stuff like that. And every time I started writing that book, it was totally fucking boring. I couldn't even read my own book. And I was in a weird place in my life, just working around the clock, trying to pay bills. I mean, I'm sure everyone can sort of relate to that. And I had a coming to Jesus moment, which is a big deal when you're a Jew. Let me tell you. If you come to Jesus and you're a Jew, it's like big time. And
considering you people killed him, geez, that's
it wasn't us. But anyway, that's a total side note. We just won't go into. But in my coming to Jesus moment, I sort of had this this time where I asked God, you know, God, like this book is going nowhere. I feel like my career is going nowhere. What would you have me write about? And if there's anything I'm missing, let me know. And that very week, 5 people said to me, you know, Jackie, you should really start a blog about your dating experiences. And so I've basically dated everyone in New York. Like, it's probably about time I switched cities to date some new people. Like all, you know, like 8 million people that are on the island at a given time I've dated. So
both
I did
men and women. That's pretty amazing.
No, well, okay, so maybe only the men, and actually maybe even like 3 million, because only the men above the age of 18. So it doesn't.
Okay. All right, now we're getting
now we're niching down.
We're niching down. Men above the age of 18. That's my demographic. So I dated all of them. And I started a blog called Soulmate in the City because I kind of look like Sarah Jessica Parker, so it was catchy.
Yes, I can confirm that. I actually
Yes.
said that to you before you had said that to me. So.
Oh, well, thank you. So, and I ended up writing a book about dating and specifically about the work that I've done with John McMullen, which, Brian, I know you're familiar with some of that coaching work, and how that can help other people. So my book is called Dating is a Spiritual Adventure, Avoid Red Flags, Rock the Journey, and Find the One. And when people ask, you know, like, what is your book? It's basically what I would have told myself maybe at age 23 to make the journey a little more peaceful and a little more enjoyable in dating. So that's who I am.
It's very concise. I
Okay.
like it. It's almost like you've done this before.
I have not. No, you guys are my first. I'm an interview virgin.
Oh my God, Brian, another one.
God.
We should start recording this and making money. Wait.
The Virgin Diaries.
Yes.
Oh God, this is taking a weird turn.
It always does.
It always does.
It's just sooner than usual.
True.
Because of me.
No,
I
it's
think
got
it's a
nothing to do
triple
with you.
threat
It's
right
just
here.
us.
I agree.
Oh, it's got something to do with Jaqueline. It's gonna be great. People are actually gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, are you Jaqueline Balake?"
They already do. I mean, that Key and
beautiful.
Peele, that Key and Peele bit has made its way to my life.
Well, don't you consider yourself lucky?
I do.
Well, good.
So,
Brian.
anyways, yeah, let's
Conductor, back on the tracks.
Please. Oh God. Yeah. So, I mean, you wrote this book. You've obviously have a lot of stories.
I do.
Let's jump into a couple of ones that just come to mind, and I'll leave what they're about up to your imagination, and what comes forward.
Craziest dating experience.
Craziest. You want the craziest?
Yes.
Okay.
Claude,
I've
water
got-
seeks its own level. Just saying.
You're not wrong, Brian.
All right. Well, since Claude asked for the craziest, that's where we're going. So, gosh, well, I'm revealing a lot about myself with this one, but it's a great story. And I guess, what are we, like 4 minutes in? No, maybe like 10 minutes in. So it's time for a revealing story.
Ready. World is ready.
And this is why we killed video and just did audio.
Yes. Okay, so craziest. Here we go, people. We're going there. So I guess this was, let's see, maybe 3 years ago. And I went to, we're going to just start crazy. I went to the Renaissance Festival. Have you guys ever been to that?
Oh, yes.
Where everybody dresses up as peasants.
Yes, and everyone dresses up like the
Like
Renaissance.
loaves of bread and stuff.
Totally. And wreaths around their hair, and there's magical wands and crystals and fairies and trolls, and it's amazing. People live there for the weekend like Vikings. I love that stuff. So I rallied my friends and we went to the Renaissance Fair. And I went with a couple girls, and when at the Renaissance Fair, you got to go get a psychic reading, because what else would you do? And I went over to Psychic Row, and I was trying to pick my psychic, and it was basically like old lady, hot guy, old lady. So who do you think? Who do you think I got my reading from?
Old lady.
Hot guy. I mean, come on. I've never seen a hot guy psychic. This was really novel. So anyway, I went to this gorgeous guy for a reading, and he gave me my tarot card reading, and he had this incredible voice, and it was so deep, and the incense was wafting in my face. And I mean, the whole experience, I swear to God, I fell in love with him by like the end of the 15-minute reading. It was the most bizarre experience of my life. I don't know if there were like roofies in the incense or
Master hypnotist.
It could be, yeah, because I was
Maybe he was just ugly, and he just hypnotized the shit out of you from like a distance.
Anything's possible, because I was in. I was completely infatuated.
Holy shit. All right.
Yeah. So, anyway, but, I didn't want to act like an idiot, so I got up after, and I was like, thank you, and my friends and I walked away, and I couldn't let it go. I was like, I got to get this guy's number, or give him mine, or something. Like, I can't, like, forget about him. So I was with my wing woman, who, I don't know about you guys, so my wing woman is a lesbian, which is fabulous, because lesbians are not afraid to talk to men about anything. I don't know if you guys need a wingman, but you definitely want to get a gay guy, because gay guys, it's like the best way to talk to women. Anyway, so my lesbian wing woman
taking notes,
said,
Claude?
Yeah, right?
I'm either going to get a lesbian or gay wing woman / man. It's
No, the gays are the best way to go when it comes.
Gay, you know what? I do agree with this, because they have nothing to lose. They got no flesh in the game. It's
true. So I had my lesbian wing woman, who again doesn't like freak out around cute guys like I do, and she said to me, Jackie, I'm gonna get a reading. Just follow my lead. So I did. I went over with her. She is now getting her reading and blah, blah, blah. And it's the end of her reading. And
he's turned her straight.
He's turned her straight.
Oh, shit.
She's still a lesbian. So apparently he only hypnotized me. So at the end of the reading, she says to him, you're really good at this. This is really interesting. Where did you learn how to do this? And he started telling us. And then she said, Jackie, I bet you would be great at tarot. You guys should really exchange info. You see how she got me in there? Like, it was so seamless. Like, he didn't even know what hit him. He was hit with the 1-2 punch of like straight girl, gay girl. So, so I gave him my card, and then we left. And I didn't hear from him. I didn't know what was going on, but I had his information. So I found him on the Renaissance Fair website, found him on Facebook, friended him on Facebook. And when I got on Facebook, I saw he had a girlfriend. So I let it go. Like nothing to do. And we were friends on Facebook, but I never reached out to him. P.S. 2 years later, okay, we're talking 2 years later, I saw on Facebook that he broke up with the girlfriend. And I wanted to reach out, but I felt weird. These like situations. Like nowadays, I guess many people have had Facebook encounters, but it still feels kind of bizarre to, initiate something on Facebook. So I didn't. But he actually reached out to me and was just like, hey, like I remember we met. You seem really interesting. Let's talk. So P.S., we started talking on the phone. We made a plan for me to go visit him. He lives... I'm not going to say where, but I'll just say like in the woods near where I would live. And so I took the bus up there to visit him, and I could tell the guy was, I know he's like, tarot card reader at the Renaissance Fair, but he's a little bizarre, He
No.
sort of like, not to mention I'm totally bizarre. I'm the pot calling the kettle black here, but he had like a deer spine outside his apartment, and he had like a Wiccan magic bowl, and gosh, what else did he have? I mean, there were like all these sort of like bizarro things. He had all these like sort of pentagrams and like Wiccan symbols all over his apartment.
Would you consider any of these red flags?
So here's the thing. In my book, I talk about red flags, and the answer was no, because I didn't feel in danger. Like, I think there's something to intuition, right? Things that would feel perhaps bizarre in another situation, they just didn't feel dangerous. I mean, he was completely chivalrous. We went hiking, you know, he took me driving around. But again, like, weird dude. Like, when we're hiking, he was telling me about, like, the dinosaur people that live in the woods. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what? And I just wasn't putting my finger on it. So then when we went driving around his town, he said to me, well, I'm really a shaman, but my therapist thinks I'm schizophrenic. And I was like, okay, so that's what's going on. He's schizophrenic. Like, he's got some problems. And I had no idea. And here I am, like, with him, like, in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, in his, like, Wiccan apartment. So other people would probably have run. I stayed for the weekend, and we had the hottest sex of my life. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you. It was amazing. And I'm just like, are crazy people better in bed? Like, I don't know. But I think maybe it could be. The thing with him is that, and he taught me something major. There was no guard up. Like, he was mentally ill. There was no facade. There was no guard. Like, he just was who he was. And he was just a completely sort of humble and kind human being. So anyway, I left the next day. And no, we have not dated since because, I mean, the guy legitimately has some problems. And we're friends and it's cool. But that was the craziest date of my life. Does that constitute a crazy date?
Kind of. It sounds pretty nice, actually. I mean,
actually the best first date of my life because he cooked for me. We went driving. Like, he was completely so much more attentive than people that actually have all their marbles. But anyway,
sounds like a nice guy. You know, what would have been kind of weird, unless you're into this, of course, is, you know, in the middle of sex, he just throws like goat blood and guts on you, and, you know, starts chanting, and then you're like, oh, this is strange.
That would have been strange. There was a point when we were in bed, and he sort of looked off and said, and he looked off, and I looked at him and said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, the voices know they're not supposed to talk to me when I have company." So
holy fuck.
I knew I was dealing with someone, you know, that was having some issues. But again, I did not feel in danger at all. He actually was perhaps one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And yeah, like I said, he's just not capable of taking care of anyone right now because he's having his own issues. So we're still friends and it's cool. But that was certainly my craziest date.
Well, there's a really good book on intuition by Gavin D. Becker. It's called The Gift of Fear. And essentially... I'm sorry?
Oprah?
Probably, yeah. I think so. It was pretty popular. And essentially the message behind it is trust your intuition. If you feel something's wrong in the pit of your stomach, there's probably a reason behind it.
Yes. And at no time did I feel that anything was wrong. And actually, after this date, this guy did come visit me in Manhattan and introduced me to a really great meditation class that I still go to. And now I'm kind of learning to become a meditation teacher. So he did take my life in a new direction. We were just not meant to be together.
Huh.
Yeah.
Overall, it sounds good. I thought you were going to talk about some like stalker or something like crazy, but you know what? It's kind of a romantic little tale you just told. I like it.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you think it was romantic. Most people are like, "What are you doing?" But
I approve fully, as long as everybody's safe.
Yeah, Brian, do you approve?
I do.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of fun.
Well,
Although I'm also curious to know if, you know, Claude approves because, you know, maybe he's a little schizo, but...
Listen, Brian.
I rest my case.
I'll use your skin as a map.
And so, Jackie, speaking of... speaking of map, do you have a Good map. I can't even do this.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
Yeah,
folks.
I got nothing. So I guess my question would be for our good friend Claude, who, as far as I know, is not dating anyone.
Okay.
What would be some good? Was that something, Claude?
No, I'm just, I don't know where I want to head in relationship land, but yeah, let's get some good tips for me.
Are you seeing anyone right now?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, obviously no names, but what's going on?
No, full name, social security number, credit card, PIN, all that.
Credit card. All right, got it. So it's 5230. No, well, the thing is, it's been off and on for a number of years, and it's just, I'm not sure. Like, I think she would very much like to be in a relationship, but I don't know what I really want. So it's kind of, we're really good friends, and we have Bible study together. I'll call it Bible study. And,
Are you guys Jewish? Because that's even bigger.
Well, I don't think I am. So, though I did live in Israel, that's a fun tale. But anyway, so yeah, it's like this unofficial sort of thing, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But it just, I honestly don't know. Like I'm more focused on business and everything, and I don't feel like a committed super serious relationship is a place where I can dedicate any energy to right now, because
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, just because I know I tend to devote more time and everything, and I just don't want to, let myself get sidetracked.
Okay. Have you had a serious relationship before?
Yeah, a few.
Okay, so you know what's involved. I mean, you know what it feels like, you know what it takes, and it sounds to me like you're making a decision from that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like I feel like it's just not something I'm willing to commit to right now, and I don't know if I ever will be though. That's the thing. That's what I've been ruminating about for the last, I don't know, like year or two. And it's this I don't know if it's being a man or reading articles or reading whatever, and just I'm not sure if I'm meant to be in a relationship or if I'm supposed to have a harem of women. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Well, let me ask you, what does being in a relationship mean to you?
I think there's a certain level of security and trust. So it's mainly to me, I think the best form of a relationship is partnership, where you've got the other person's back, you help them, they help you, and it's like a working partnership.
Okay. Well, then what about that seems like something that you wouldn't really want or be cut out for?
It's I am of the mindset where if I change my mind, let's say either about attraction or about what I want out of a partner, then I don't like breaking up with people.
Yeah.
So that's I think the thing. Like I'd rather not hurt anyone's feelings, but at the same time, it's tough because no matter what you do, you'll hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether you go in deeply or don't, you do end up hurting someone's feelings when you leave.
Yep.
Well, what does she want? You said she wants more of a serious relationship.
I think so, but then again, I'm not even sure.
Have you guys ever had that conversation?
We've kind of talked around it a little bit. And we've we have been in a relationship before, right? It's just it doesn't seem like we can last for like a year or so without going back to being friends and then hooking up again. And it's really an interesting paradigm. But I don't know. I just feel like I want to focus on myself more than anything. And, you know, if like I cannot commit to, you know, another person or a family or any sort of that stuff until I sort my own shit out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I honor that and I respect that. And I think that the honesty is the most important thing. And a concept, I mean, I sort of, obviously I'm a woman. I come from the other orientation where I very much want a relationship. But I think a concept that clicked in for me big time, and perhaps for you, Brian, as well, at the last intensive we were at, is that destiny is going to have its way with us anyway. So, you know, you can sit there and say, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And then, boom, it happens. Or someone else.
Nine months later, you end up with a daughter.
Or in Brian's situation, you end up with a daughter. Or, you know, I mean, I've wanted, you know, a partnership and a marriage so much, but I've come to the realization that destiny is going to do what it's going to do anyway. And so I'm just going to roll with it. So I think the self-honesty, I mean, I love it, because I think what some men do is that they fall back on my family and the world thinks I should be this partner, and they're not really in it, you know?
Yep. It's true. It's pretty common, and I don't want to be the person that is just kind of there, you know, just to kind of complete that piece of the puzzle, because I feel like it's not only cheating myself, it's cheating the other person too, right?
Agreed. It is. And then, look, the other person would want someone that wants to be there 100% as well. So I think I'm feeling the self-honesty, and actually in my book, you know, I encourage talking about this. And if a man says he is not sure if he wants a relationship, or he doesn't want a relationship, or doesn't want to be serious, I encourage women to consider that the truth and listen to it, and not think that you'll love him enough to change. Because obviously...
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah,
you're on trying to change someone.
And you can't change someone. And even trying to trick yourself that you'll be good enough to change them. That is the trick. Because no matter how good of a woman... I like the saying, what is it? You know, it doesn't matter how good of a woman you are. The only thing that can keep a man is a man that wants to be kept. You know.
That's a good saying.
If you want to be kept, you'll be kept. Otherwise, it could be, you know, the Heidi Klum and Giselle Bundchen rolled up in one, and she won't keep you if your passion is elsewhere.
It's very true. I mean, it takes two to tango, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about me. Probably half our listeners are sound asleep by now. It's,
I mean, I woke them up with my schizophrenic sex. Come on. Like,
yeah, but then we put them to sleep with my boring, selfish... Well, I know. Well,
I mean, it could be, though.
Not that you know of. Not that you know of.
It's true.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
What if I'm schizophrenic?
I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it.
And it is every day you have schizophrenic sex.
Right.
Yeah, it would explain a lot, actually.
I try not to drop too many F-bombs on this podcast, but fuck off, Claude.
You walked into it, man.
I did.
It's like a shovel in one of those YouTube videos. You know, the person steps on it, just gets smacked right in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about YouTube videos today. Jackie, what do you find yourself working on right now?
So right now I am
Other
working...
than meditation teaching.
Meditation teaching. I'm working on a lot. So I'm working on promoting the book right now and getting it out to the various 23-year-old selves of mine that are scattered around the English-speaking world. And I am also building my coaching clientele, and I'm offering coaching along with the book, which I call it dating and relationship coaching, but obviously it goes into self-awareness and emotional coaching and spiritual coaching and getting to know one's inner self so one can welcome a partner. And so to that end, I'm working on my YouTube channel so that people can get more of a sense of my personality because, as you can tell, I'm not a very serious coach. I'm more of a playful coach. And I'm also not a rules coach. I mean, I call myself the adventure whisperer because if, gosh, there's a great adventure that you could go on, just click in with your intuition and know if the ride is going to be dangerous or not. And I agree with you. You will know if it's not the way to go or if it is.
If you listen to yourself.
If you listen to yourself and you're sober, that's the other thing. When you're under the influence, it's sort of hard to hear the inner directives. So, you know.
I'm interested by the fact that you brought that up. Could you dive a little deeper into that topic?
Yeah. So, you know, again, so in the book, I write about all these different adventures that I go on. And sometimes, and a lot of them are abroad, you know, they're not in the United States. And because I do not drink a lot, and especially when I'm a woman traveling alone, I mean, I would love to believe that the world is a safe place for women to consume alcohol. And look, I am a feminist, but at the same time, I'd rather not be attacked. And when I
rather not be a dead feminist.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, again,
sounds like a punk band.
A woman that drinks and something happens to her, she's done nothing wrong, but the world is such that it is, and there are predators out there, so we do have to be careful. And I can pinpoint 2 times where someone tried to roofie me when I was in Europe. And I only knew because I was sober. And one of them, I was at a bar in Reykjavik with my lesbian wing woman. I bring her everywhere. I'm telling you, gotta get the gay wing people, everyone. And I was online for the bathroom, and this guy came up to me, and he had an open cup of beer, and he said, "Oh, I bought this for you." And again, I'm not accepting an open drink from some person I don't know. And I was like, "No." And he was like, "No, I bought it for you here." And I was like, "No, thank you." And I did not take the drink. And then he was pissed and he walked away. And these other women came up to me and they said, "Don't take a drink from him. We saw him put something in it."
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it would have been just that easy for something to happen. So I caution women all the time. Look, the world is a wondrous place full of adventures. You gotta be sober. If you figured out how you can do it under the influence, more power to you. I don't think it's possible. And I roll pretty much sober so that I can roll into the half-naked drumming dance party in Scotland or, you know, the all-night disco in Berlin. And I can feel comfortable because I'm aware of what's going on. And the open drink thing is a big thing. I mean, and I actually think that is true in the United States as well. If you're on a date with a man and you did not see the drink poured or open with your own eyes, I don't care if it's a bottle of water, don't drink it. Don't drink it.
Or make him drink all of it.
Or yeah, you could, but he may have, you know, like come up with a tolerance to roofies. You never.
It's like
date rape nail polish.
Honest to God, I used to know a guy whose drug of choice was roofie.
Oh wow!
So he would legitimately roofie himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, that's like what is it, The Princess Bride, where that guy takes poison.
Yeah, and he's developed a tolerance to iocane powder. Yeah, so I love The Princess Bride. So someone may have done that, but just no drinks. You didn't see poured. Just no thanks.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Either buy your own drinks. And then there was a second time. I don't know if the person was trying to roofie me, but I was in a hostel room and these 2 guys just kept trying to give me an open beer, and I was like, no, and they wouldn't take no, and I was finally like, no. And again, maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but it's weird when someone keeps trying to force drinks on you.
Yeah.
So
the open drink is especially the weirdest.
Yeah, like, the open drink is weird. So
and the open beer, you can't even see if anything's in there.
It's a hard bottom line. No open drinks. It's not the way to go.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
that's sobering.
Well played, Claude. Well played.
Thank you. Thank you. I still can't believe nowadays people still do that. It's like don't they know it's a crime or I don't know. Like, holy shit. Anyway, nice thoughts. Nice thoughts.
Right. Yeah, we were really taking this into a positive.
Let's turn this boat. Let's turn this boat towards the sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jackie,
So,
no, yeah, Brian, please.
so if you could give, let's say, one practical piece of dating advice to all of our listeners, what would that be, and why did you pick that piece of advice?
Okay. My practical piece of advice is look at your patterns and look at what you keep attracting. And now, I think people in their 20s may not have done enough stuff to see the patterns. I think the first time I worked with John McMullen, I was 29, and I had some patterns. If you're 20, single, you have patterns, honey. Especially into your 30s, you see your patterns. And what I mean by that, if you're a woman, for instance, you keep attracting guys that cheat on you, or you keep attracting guys that ghost you. If you're a man, you keep attracting women that, cheat on you or use you or leave you. Look at the patterns, all right, if there are any. There probably are, because we all sort of have woundings from our childhood, and that will inform our patterns later in life. And once you can identify the pattern, ask yourself, why do I keep attracting that? What's going on in me? And there's a couple things. And generally, like I said, it comes from our parents. Our father was the template for male relationships moving forward, and our mother was the template for female relationships. And how we learn to interact with our parents is a lot of times how we'll interact with our partners. So I think we can start the process of deconstructing what we're attracting, and if we don't like it, attract new things by healing certain issues within us. And the reason that I chose that to talk about is because that's basically what my whole book is about, my patterns. And maybe other people have different patterns. And I sort of say that most everyone who's dated can probably write their own dating book. I just did. I just happened to get it all down. I mean, everyone's been through it all. And I'm sure anyone could write a tell-all and a journey into healing from their love life. I just happened to get it all down through, spirit, the grace of God. And I've let you into my patterns and how they've helped heal me and what I attract.
I like it. I like patterns.
Yeah.
Square, circle, triangle, circle, square.
Thank you, Brian.
So may I ask, Brian?
No, you may not ask any question. We ask the questions around
I'm
here.
asking. All right. May I ask, now that you've done John McMullen's work and some of the intensives, would you agree with what I just said, that there are patterns that we perhaps get stuck in and don't even realize they're patterns?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to mind, when I was in middle school, I had my first real girlfriend, and I think it was either a day before or a day after 2 months, she broke up with me.
Mm-hmm.
And for, I don't know, the next, how old was I there? I would have been about 13. So yeah, so it would have been for about the next 15 years, I would break things off right at the 2-month mark. At least, this is what I think now, to prevent getting broken up with because of how painful it was.
I would believe that. And you were what, about 13, 14?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and these incidents have a huge impact moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of sets you up for your future unless you notice it and manage it.
Yes. Claude, may I ask, same for you. I mean, how old are you? Well, Brian, you're what, 32?
32, yep.
And Claude, you're how old?
I'm a really old feeling 29-year-old.
29, so you're just coming into pattern land.
I guess.
It sounds like a theme park.
You can't. So I have this joke I always. So now I'm 39, and I I date guys of all ages. I mean, I'm really just am more into the person than, a specific age. I do like dating guys around my own age because I feel like there's a similar growth. But in any case, so the joke is if I date someone in his 20s and he screws me over, that's my fault. Like,
It's true.
he's in his 20s. Like, that's just what people in their 20s do. But if a guy screws me over and he's in his 30s, that's his fault. And that's why I say sort of like the magic age is around 29, 30, where it's about time for us to start looking at patterns and growing into adulthood and how we can, optimize those patterns in our terms of our connection with others. So to that end, Claude, now that you're coming into pattern land, can I ask, is anything coming up for you?
Yeah, dating girls in and around 20. Generally doesn't seem like it goes anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's a big one. Also, girls with dark makeup and piercings on their face.
Okay.
Generally, I don't know. I tend to be attracted to, like these alternative girls, but they've all got, some demons in their closets, and I feel like it's just better to kind of go for the girl next door type, not the girl in the dungeon
goth girl.
type. Yeah.
Although, what attracts you about the goth girl?
I don't know. Maybe it's that whole, alternative forbidden thing, or it's just maybe when I was young, I saw, a goth chick on TV. I'm like, wow, she's different. It's a really good question. I've been trying to think about it, but yeah, just goth girls are really hot. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're sickly and pale, and
You can fix them.
yeah, maybe
You
I
can
feel like,
fix them.
yeah, but then if I'd fix them, it's like the sickly and paleness, it's like gone. So what am I left with? Just a normal, nice girl. Ugh.
Claude,
But-
I wonder if you're embracing your own darkness through the goth girls.
Oh, maybe. That could.
And the part of you that's because you are alternative. I mean, look, anyone in the CHEK world is very alternative.
Yeah, anyone who knows Brian and associates with him is into pain and punishment. So
It's true.
whip me, Daddy McKay.
Jesus Christ.
This is what happens at when we're winding up
Yeah.
to an hour. But no, I think you might be right. I might be embracing my own dark side, but I'm not. I don't dress up as goth. I think it's kind of silly, but
Also, they're externalizing what is on the inside of you.
oh, that's true. So maybe I'm darker and more like disturbed than they are in general. Oh man.
I don't
You
know
got me
if it's
fucked up,
disturbed,
Jaquel.
though. I wouldn't call it disturbed though.
Hey, that was his word. That was his
Yeah,
word.
it was his word, but and you're right. So I'm going to project for a
Shit,
second.
Brian.
Maybe it's just I want to say almost the rebellion against this sort of culture that says you have to be positive and sunny all the time, which they're
I hate that
externalizing.
culture.
Yeah, but maybe on the inside, you're like, maybe I don't want to be sunny and positive all the time, but I'm not going to dress that way. But
I just
yeah,
act that way.
so there you go. There's the attraction.
There we go. We've narrowed it down. So what do I do? What do I do? Do I keep looking at cute alternative girls, or do I look for? Because generally I don't want to stereotype, generalize or anything, but
You just
yeah, I know. Generally, what happens is you start getting into something more serious with these girls, and it's just like, wow, there's like I don't want to spend my time on this earth fixing this sinking boat, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's
So
like
what do you do?
I jump ship,
Yeah.
man. Fuck that. I've been
Gotcha.
saying fuck a lot today, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
What's your
on a
dark
roll.
side?
My dark side, bro. Leave me alone. Let me
So
be disturbed.
I think what you do, because here's the thing, you like what you like. So we can all pretend not to like what we like. And I see this a lot in New York City, actually, how sometimes, not all of the time, sometimes men get a woman that they think that their family would be approving of, right? And then they end up cheating on her with the stripper. So the bottom line is you like what you like, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we just go for what we like? And I actually think, and again, I've put this in the book, and I actually took this quote from Marianne Williamson, who I love, and she says that God, Holy Spirit, whatever you believe in, the universe, will bring together the two people that have the maximum potential for growth. And how do you know that who that person is? You're super attracted to them, right? Because why else would we get in this and do this? So go for the girl that you're super attracted to, because it's going to bring up what it needs to bring up anyway. And when she starts acting like whatever goth girls act like, that you feel like you need to fix, maybe just sit with it and let her be and not fix it.
Yeah, I think you brought up an important part, and I think that on the topic of cheating and kind of wanting to show your family or friends or whatever what dating somebody that they would approve of, I think the first person you cheat before you cheat on your partner is yourself. And then you cheat your family and friends, and then you cheat on the person that you're kind of bringing around and kind of being like, oh, like this is the person you want me to be with, so here they are.
Yes.
So I think as long as we have integrity within our own self and on what we want, and we just externalize that and like vocalize it, I think we'll be okay for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. And honesty with self.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right. Don't cheat on yourself first.
Yeah, you can use that. That's a good Twitter thing.
Thank you.
All right.
So,
Brian, I think I've got another 10 or so minutes. So
okay.
if you have questions, you can fire them away. I know Miss Balake.
Yeah, we're not dropping this, are we?
No, I love that skit too much, and it's just such an amazing thing that the first two names that the guy mentions
are my name.
Yeah, it's like somebody was thinking about you when they wrote that.
Maybe it was one of my exes. I don't know. Try to mess with me.
Maybe they're a writer, and they're like, let me throw some wrenches in these gears. And we're gonna put the video up in the show notes in case anyone's wondering what the hell we're talking about.
Good idea, Claude. Good idea.
Yeah.
So Jackie, what do you disagree with that other dating coaches generally agree on?
What do I disagree with that? I guess it depends which dating coach. I can't remember who it is. I didn't really take too much in, but there's this one dating coach that talks about how it's very important to get goal-oriented about your search for a husband in college, because you're around the most men, and by the time you're 36, it's all over because your fertility's over. I mean, I do not think this woman or any coach knows better than God or your own personal destiny. And I've seen turnarounds at the last possible minute. And I think relationships are really just a relationship with self. So I would disagree with a traditional path. And let's see, is there anything else I disagree with, I think these books are great. There's a lot of books like, for instance, Calling in the One, The Soulmate Secret. And what's great about these books is they have you do all these exercises to show yourself where you may be blocked in love. But then some of them say, get a ring on your finger in 6 months. Any book that claims that, run from that book, because what happens? So you have a ring on your finger, but you hate the guy, or that. I don't think we can measure love by something as arbitrary as a ring, even as an engagement. So everyone's results are different, and I would say just be careful of those claims. You can bring down all your blocks to love, but there's a date on the calendar when you'll meet the person that knocks your socks off, and all you can do is be ready for that day. I don't believe you can actually advance it.
Yeah, that's like measuring success with the amount of money you have in the bank account. You know, it's this one metric that just fails to look at the bigger picture. And as you guys have probably seen, there's many wealthy people out there who are not happy at all.
Totally.
So,
and many married people that are not happy.
Oh, God. Well, the divorce rate is what, like 50%, maybe higher now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of proves the point. Like, trying to fill the void in your life with something outside of you, generally, I find that it's not like it might help. There's definitely teachers and lessons to be learned on the outside, but generally you got to fill that void with yourself, if that makes sense. Yeah. Going deep, man.
We are going deep.
Yes. Now, what purchase under $100 has most benefited you or your coaching practice?
That's really funny. What purchase under $100 has most benefited me and my coaching practice?
And or.
Are you talking about like a book or
anything?
It can be
anything you can buy with money.
You know, I mean, this is going to sound crazy, and I don't know if you guys will get it, but so
crazy.
Yeah, I bought.
Have you been here the last hour?
Okay. Well, because here's the thing. So, I mean, if you show everyone, the visual, what everyone always asks about is my hair, especially because when I travel, like, my hair is on point all the time. I don't care if I'm staying in a hostel. I don't care if I'm living on the street. My hair is on point. So I actually purchased from an infomercial for $14.99 plus shipping and handling the air curler, which I think has been great for my coaching because my hair has been like the single biggest conversation piece with women, and women start talking about my hair, and then they're like, oh, who are you? What do you do? Oh, you're a dating coach. Oh, you wrote this book. So I would say the air curler, strangely, has been the best purchase under $100.
Awesome. The air curler, one easy payment of $14.95.
Shopping network.
All right, we'll try to find that to put that in the show notes. Brian and I don't think we'll be able to use it for a while.
No, but your significant others will.
Yeah.
None.
Unless I go for the shaved head, goth, and
that's true.
That's interesting. Anyway, Brian, keep it coming, man.
Jackie,
falling off the rails.
Who's the first person that comes to mind, or what is your definition of the optimum human?
Optimum human. I think, we know so many. The first person that comes to mind for me, though, is Eckhart Tolle. And I guess the reason is I obviously don't know him, but from his books and from what I've seen in his interviews, he does seem to spend more time in the present moment than most humans I've ever seen on TV or met. And I think that's why he's an optimum human, because when I read in his book, he was present, homeless on a park bench, and he's present on Oprah and present through the gamut of human experience. And I guess that's why I'd call him, at least from my projection, the optimum human.
I love him. I love his audiobooks. They're like I like reading, but like if the narrator's good, holy smokes, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And you can just hear that this guy's like on some like next level of zen when he's talking.
Completely.
Yes. Brian, please continue.
Thank you, Eckhart.
You're welcome.
All right.
Use the force.
Oh, we got Yoda.
Okay. All right. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is taking, of course, another weird turn. Jackie, who would you want to hear on this podcast? Who would you want to make suffer by hanging
out with you guys?
Right. And what would you want to ask them or hear them talk about?
So there's like the person that's like super big, and then there's like maybe a person that's not so big. And I guess
Physically?
Andre the Giant?
Not
I think he's
physically.
dead, Brian.
Oh.
We can get it like a medium or whatever.
Yeah, we've started to do that before with other guests.
We have.
You know, I sort of would like to see a wrestler on the show. That'd be kind of cool. Do like an expose.
Oh, shit. I like it.
But before that, I mean, I happen to love Brene Brown. I mean, she's, you know who she is, the shame researcher.
Yeah, the vulnerability expert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we recently had a suggestion for her also.
I love her. And I guess what I would ask her, like, here's the thing I always come up with her is, you know, she obviously speaks from her experience, which is she's been married and she's had kids and la, la, la. And I always feel like, although I love her research and her message, I can't relate to her stories because she's talking about like PTA meetings and me and my clients are like, yeah, we can't get past the third date. Like, and you can't talk about PTA meetings. Like, Renee, you're like 100 steps ahead of us. So I guess I would love Brene Brown for single people. In the absence of that, I did hear a TED Talk recently by Monica Lewinsky. And what I loved about it, I mean, I feel like she almost epitomizes like, you know, the slut shaming of the 1990s because what happened to her was so popular. And as I look back at my own stories in my book, I'm like, dude, I'm no different than Monica Lewinsky, except I wasn't on CNN. And now she's talking.
You weren't with Slick Willie.
No. I mean, yeah,
that
wasn't with Slick Willie, but so meaning we all did our Monica dirt. Monica just happened to be on, you know, the nighttime news and it was so public. And now she talks about bullying, and she talks about sort of when someone becomes the martyr in society and shaming. And I guess I would love to have an in-depth convo with Monica Lewinsky about how she turned it all around and is now speaking out on bullying and shaming.
Wow.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's going to be interesting reaching out to her, but
yeah. I think you guys should.
Yeah, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see why not, you know, so we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Jackie, where can our listeners find out more about you, how to work with you, how to get a date, other than giving you a tarot reading?
Well, okay, so you can find me on the web at jackieblake.com, and please feel free to sign up for my mailing list. I have a free report, top 5 tips for using dating apps and not losing your mind. You can also find me on Facebook as Jackie Blake. I'm on Instagram as Jack's on Tour. That's JAX.on.tour. And if you want to date, man, just send me nudes. That's how we do this. I'm just kidding. No
Tell
nudes.
Brian and I worked it out.
Yeah. No, just I said that only because I wanted to tell all the men out there, don't send nudes to any woman that you are not already involved with. No nudes.
Yeah, especially like if you're, I mean, yeah, no nudes, but especially no close-ups, guys. Come on, man. Like, geez, like nobody wants that. Like maybe like half of 1% wants that, just like this dismembered body, like this dismembered part of your body floating in their inbox, you know, opening up, oh, I got a text message, let's see who it's from. Oh my God.
Nobody
and
wants
like you're
that.
at work or at the mall, or it's just creepy.
Or over lunch. Yeah. I mean, I put it this way. If you wouldn't do it in person, don't do it on a text message. And especially if I haven't met you and you're sending me nudes, that's like we're standing at a bar and you drop your pants. I'm calling the police, okay? I'm calling the bouncer, the police. I'm throwing a drink at you. I'm going to get someone to hurt you. Don't do it.
What if you don't drop your pants? You just kind of like just let it hang out and just wait for the other person to notice?
Yeah, there's still a bouncer coming for you, man. There's a bouncer coming for you.
Now, I've just got to say this, and I'm totally putting myself out there. Back when I was in the dating scene, I actually set up a fake woman's profile to see what my competition was.
Oh, Brian, you dog.
That's awesome.
And, oh my God, guys are creepy as hell. Like, yeah. Oh my God. So, guys, like, it's not that hard. Like, just
be normal, dude.
Don't be a douche.
Yeah, don't be a douche. Don't be creepy. Treat people like humans. And yeah.
That's it. Although I will say it does make the weeding out process easier for women. Because if the moment someone acts douchey, you don't know them anything, they got to go. Just delete that person and move on.
Yeah, it's true. And it's sad that there is a weeding out process, but there has to be.
What's happening in 2017 is sort of mind-blowing. It's like beyond sad. So we all have to not take it too personally, unless it's the same patterns that keep coming up. It's not so much, that you met someone that's a douche. It's that you kept talking to him. There's tons of douches out there. When you continually engage, that's when there's a problem.
That's true.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you, everyone.
On that PTA.
This has been awesome. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, listeners, for making it through this another episode, assuming you did. And we look forward to talking at you next time.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time, suckers. Boom. Optimum Humans out.
Claude, we said not to be douchey.
Hey, listen, bro. You see this chest hair?
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Optimum Human Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to head on over to iTunes and give a 5-star rating and review, which will help spread the word to more awesome listeners just like you. Head on over to theoptimumhuman.com and subscribe to the free newsletter and get the Optimum Humans Blueprint to the Optimum Life. Download it instantly. Thanks for listening.